Hello, I'm Chris Carbaugh, Chief Operations Officer for Stena Drilling. I'm here to talk to you today about our Bespoke process safety training program. Stena Drilling Limited is a wholly owned subsidiary of Stena AB. We're one of the world's foremost independent drilling contractors. Our current fleet consists of 2 semi-submersibles, 4 ultra-deep water drill ships, and 1 ultra-deep water drill ship, which is a new build currently located in Korea. Our main headquarters is in Aberdeen, Scotland, and we have 125 onshore staff as well as 1,100 staff working offshore in our rigs worldwide. We have regional offices in Houston, Georgetown, and Singapore, and satellite offices overseas as required. Although Stena Drilling is a small company, we have a worldwide footprint. We've worked in areas as diverse as Australia, Southeast Asia, South America, Peru. We have a presence in the Gulf of Mexico, and currently our ships are working in Guyana, Israel, Egypt, and the North Sea.
On the drill floor, the primary focus is maintaining control of the well and keeping our people safe.
As a derrickman, I'm responsible for maintaining the mud pumps and the drilling fluids system. This involves constantly checking the high pressure mud pumps to ensure they are running correctly. These pumps can be running as high as 7,500 psi, so a failure could have catastrophic results.
As a subsea engineer, we carry out maintenance on safety critical equipment which prevents wellbore fluids coming back from the well to the surface. So in the event of a blowout, the blowout preventer can be closed, which seals the well off from the rig.
As an electrical supervisor, the worst scenario that we could come across would be to have a total blackout. This would mean that we'd lose station keeping and perhaps the ability to control the well.
As an IT engineer, I'm responsible for the satellite comms on board the vessels. It is essential that we can communicate in the event of an emergency, and this is why we have built-in redundancy with multiple domes located on board our vessels.
Our crew travel to and from the vessel using helicopters, so we must maintain a full heli deck with full firefighting capabilities so we can react in the event of an emergency.
During any operations, it's important to have good control over the vessel's stability. This is primarily done by ballast water. Ballast water can be taken on, discharged, or transferred around the vessel when any weights are moved.
As a barge master, I worry about fire in the accommodation. To prevent escalation, we have trained firefighting teams, certified firefighting equipment such as hoses and extinguishers, and sophisticated fire detection systems to detect any spread of fire and smoke.
So when we decided to develop a course for process safety, there were a few learning requirements we had. Firstly, we wanted to better define the differences between occupational safety and process safety. We wanted our crews to understand the major accident hazards, how they affect them, and how they affect our assets. These being blowout, fire and explosion, helicopter crash, loss of position, or stability. And there are various regulations that apply to Stena Drilling. The Health and Safety at Work Act of 1974, Offshore Safety Act of 1992, and as we're British flag, the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency. Piper Alpha was an oil platform located in the North Sea, approximately 120 miles northeast of Aberdeen. An explosion resulting oil and gas fires destroyed Piper Alpha on 6th of July, 1988. The disaster killed 167 men, including 2 crewmen of a rescue vessel. 61 workers escaped and survived. However, 30 bodies were never recovered. Total insured loss was about $1.7 billion, making it one of the costliest man-made catastrophes at the time. Just 2 months after the Piper Alpha disaster that killed 167 workers, the Odyssey was on location when another catastrophe happened. The rig was only 5 years old. It had just started drilling an exploration well in the central North Sea for a client, the American company Arco. On the 21st of September, the 8.5-inch hole had been drilled in nearly 5,000 meters. However, drilling had been curtailed as they had severe losses of fluid downhole. In the morning, the decision was made to pull out of the hole. Just after lunch, the first explosion occurred. The 4 remaining crew on the drill floor evacuated to the lifeboats. The well was not completely shut in, and as a result, there was a catastrophic release of gas. This picture shows you the fire burning underneath the rig on the sea, resulting in substantial damage to the vessel. Unfortunately, one individual lost his life. More recently, in the Gulf of Mexico, we had the Macondo incident. The Deepwater Horizon was working for BP, and an oil spill resulted in an industrial disaster and a catastrophic death of 11 individuals. Deepwater Horizon was severely damaged and sunk on the 22nd of April, 2010. The casualty resulted in continuous flow of hydrocarbons to the Gulf of Mexico for 87 days before the well was capped. This is the largest spill in U.S. history. A significant amount of environmental damage was resulted in the Gulf of Mexico. But I want to remind people, 11 people lost their lives here, and I actually knew 2 of them. There are 2 sides of the same coin, and both can end in tragedy. We see many statistics relating to incidents within our environment, but often these relate primarily to occupational personal safety instead of process safety. As you can see, and as we've seen in the previous slides, when process safety goes wrong, huge incidents, catastrophic events occur. At Stena Drilling, we use Presight. Presight's a software tool that enables Stena Drilling management to visualize and continually monitor the status of our barriers to prevent or mitigate major accident hazards and proactively manage risks during operations. This is a planning and decision tool for making good decisions offshore by our management. It provides us with an overview of barriers that are degraded at any time, early warning of barrier degradation and effectiveness of systems that are in place to manage the risk, gives us an opportunity to implement compensation measures or to adjust operations accordingly. The Presight software is based on our bow tie diagrams developed for potential major accident hazards. These are identified in our safety case. Here's an example of one of the bow ties that we use in our day-to-day business. COVID-19 presented an opportunity for Stena Drilling. We identified a need for additional training for our personnel with regards to process safety. The problem was we had limited in-house resources to develop these training packages. So we worked alongside Cogent Skills to develop a bespoke training program and have it presented by their expert trainers. During COVID, our crews were moving to our rigs. They were working extended hitches and sometimes spending up to 2 weeks in isolation facilities. This meant that delivering remote training packages could be done successfully. Staff improvement of process safety systems, procedural knowledge, the effective use of time was spent while we were in isolation facilities. We've seen some productivity improvements, and it's been a cost-effective method for us to get the training across to our people. Our objectives were to develop a bespoke process safety management training program, providing a clear understanding of the principles of process safety management. The objectives were to develop a bespoke process safety management training program, which would provide clear understanding of the principles of process safety management, to improve individuals' ability to identify hazards, prevent major accidents, hazards from actually occurring, and we wanted to incorporate some up-to-date competence and compliance regulatory information into our procedures and also put this in a corporate message in a virtual training environment for our people. Courses are rolled out during 2 half-day sessions. Small group of personnel are selected with experience ranges from the master mariner all the way down to the derrickman and mechanic. The courses are rolled out during 2 half-day sessions. A small group of personnel are selected with experience ranges from the master mariner to the derrickman and the mechanic. Process safety courses are assessed upon completion of training. Results and feedback are used to update the coursework for subsequent classes. Currently, 6 courses have been completed across the Stena fleet, with another 2 planned in November. The training has been attended by several client supervisors. This is our blended learning model. So the foundation of the pyramid is the subject matter experts, the trainers, using the expert industry knowledge. And we have the materials and delivery. We have the virtual classroom, the activities and discussions, which are trainer-led workshops, breakout rooms, question and answer sessions, testing and review, and then finally, the virtual content delivery, the multimedia content, the corporate and industry procedures, and the lessons learned. We worked with Cogent Skills to give us something dynamic and digital. We wanted to help reduce our carbon footprint. We didn't want to send people to the training courses for face-to-face meetings, and instead, our system is 100% virtual. Early results: improvement of operational integrity. Stena Drilling and Cogent Skills continue to deliver our best practice training, incorporating industry framework standards. The quality of engagement, providing equal training and communication opportunities for different workforce levels on our rigs. Productivity improvements. Virtual training option continues to save travel time, off-site time, along with the improvement of staff's work-home life balance. And budget savings. Cogent Skills provided professional training and logistics management, resulting in reducing external costs for training. I hope that's given you a greater understanding of our journey in process safety, how we went from just using our software management tool to giving training to our people offshore, and how we did it in a virtual manner during COVID.